You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, you want to know the major reason why you actually still see the trans invasion of women's sports? It's really because of the women themselves. When it comes to the NWSL, folks, that is a woke sports league. Completely woke. Remember Megan Rapinoe actually played in that league? Yeah, she did. Also, another team got backlash because they signed a player that actually refused to wear a gay pride jersey. I believe she's actually a Christian. Did videos on that, guys. It's somewhere on this channel. But here we are, guys, in 2025, and the invasion is still continuing. However, women now aren't really afraid to actually speak up. They're not. But if you actually don't want males to invade your sport, or any women's sport for that matter, and you actually write an opinion piece, guess what? Your own teammates may attack you and call you a transphobe and a racist. That's actually reality, folks, because that's exactly what happened. We have an NWSL player wrote an op-ed in the New York Post, and all she really said was, we need to make women's sports for women. That's all she really said. Nothing controversial about that. But her own teammates, her woke teammates, folks, came out and attacked her. This is utterly ridiculous, man. This is why the trans invasion in women's sports is still happening. It's because there's too many women that still put up with this. So let's go ahead and get into this, guys. Here we go. Right over here. Women's soccer pro faces team backlash for calling on league to adopt gender standards. And the woman's name is Elizabeth Eddy. Now, she wrote this op-ed on the New York Post. And the title of it is National Women's Soccer League Must Adopt Gender Standards to Keep Growing. Other words, make women's sports women's sports. Make it fair. The only way to make it fair is to actually have women participate only. But to her woke teammates, oh no, she's a transphobe and a racist. Now, I don't know how racism came into this, guys. But we got this woke player. We're going to watch the clip, guys. Actually brought up racism. She probably didn't even read the op-ed. Anyway, says right here, a National Women's Soccer League club is divided after Angel City FC star Elizabeth Eddy called on the league to adopt gender standards to protect women's sports. Eddy wrote a column in the New York Post where she queried, quote, how do we preserve women's rights and competitive fairness while fostering meaningful inclusion? Fairness and inclusion are core American values. Reasonable people can disagree about where to draw lines, but avoiding the conversation altogether by shutting out diverse views does not serve us. In fact, we owe it to current and future female athletes to solve this, she wrote. The NWSL must adopt a clear standard. One option is all players must be born with ovaries, as the FA requires. Another option is an SRY gene test, like those World Athletics and World Boxing implemented. Yeah. And her teammates got triggered. Now, this is pretty astonishing, guys, because Angel FC actually posted these woke players' response to that article. I'm shocked that they actually left this up, folks. They write right here. Our captain spoke with courage and clarity. No one in our community should be questioned, harassed, or targeted because of their identity. Wow. And look at this. They're getting ratioed. They have 1,400 likes to just under 4,000 comments. Clifton Duncan here says this will age incredibly well. Yeah. Let's go ahead and listen into this, guys. Here we go.
Going into this, I'm a little bit nervous because I think it's a big job to represent your team and speak for your team, and not just that, speak for others who this will be important to. We've all obviously seen the article that was written in the New York Post earlier this week, so I really want to start off by saying that that article does not speak for this team in this locker room. I've had a lot of combos with my teammates in the past few days, and they are hurt and they are harmed by the article, and also they are disgusted by some of the things that were said in the article, and it's really important for me to say that. And we don't agree with the things written for a plethora of reasons, but mostly the undertones come across as transphobic and racist as well.
Racist? Really? Also, I want to ask you, do you actually want to play against a man? Where's the racism part? That's what I'm really curious about. Where is the racism part? Anyway, let's continue.
The article calls for genetic testing on certain players, and it has a photo of an African player as a headline, and that's very harmful. And to me, it's inherently racist, because to single out this community based on them looking or being different is absolutely a problem. And as a mixed woman with a black family, I'm devastated by the undertones of this article.
For me personally, when I think of LA and I think of Angel City, I think of a place that was founded upon inclusivity and love for all people. That's what our locker room is. That's what our staff is. That's what our fan base is. Angel City is a place for everyone. It always will be. That's how it was from the beginning. That's how it always will be, period. And I think this situation, you know, there's, Lisa, you kind of touched on it. There's an element of timing to it where this feels like another really big challenge that we have to go through as a team on top of an already really challenging year. And it's definitely not the note that we as a group want to end on. And so I just want everyone to know that we're doing our best in the locker room to preserve respect and belonging on this team. And we look forward to ending the season on as positive of a note as possible.
Wow. Absolutely astonishing, folks. Absolutely astonishing. And this next comment here, guys, I'm glad that this person brought this up. We talked about this before. Back in 2017, FC Dallas under 15 boys squad beat the U.S. women's national team in a scrimmage. Wiped them out. We're talking about boys that aren't even fully developed. 15-year-olds and under beat the women's national team, folks. Absolutely astonishing. But these both players, man, they don't care. They don't care, man. Now they're attacking their own teammate, a woman that just wants her sport just to be for women. But oh no, if you say that, you must be a bigot. You must be a transphobe and a racist. Wow. I'm absolutely stunned. But this is the NWSL, man. Megan Rapinoe was a part of this league. That tells you everything you need to know. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.